So the reason why we're cutting into this, because the cut insertion gives you a far better inserted look than something attached on top of it. The easier version of this would be something attached, but it won't give the professional look. So when we start to attach this, first of all we have to make sure that it's central, and then secondly, we're not going to start off in the corner, we're going to start off just a little bit away from the corner, and we're just going to go and do a straight line going up to the point where we want to stitch it to. At that point we're going to turn the fabric all the way round again and come back to the point past where we started, and then stop at the point where we want to make the turn. And here again we're not going to stop there, because if we stopped there the thread would soon start to pull out, and before we know it we'll have like a difficult corner where it's impossible to get into later on. And now if you turn this back to the right way, you can see a lot better where the corners are, and our job now is to get right into that corner. Now if you keep this pulled, that pulling will actually take you right to the corner. And on the other side, use the machine's foot as a vise to cut right into the corner, because you know this corner you can't afford to do it too much and you can't afford to do it too less. Now this is already cut, we're going to start seaming again, but you know the whole point of this corner is that snip will give you that 90 degrees turning, or is it more than 90 degrees? Well, whatever the turning is, you know, it gives you that ability to keep your needle inside and to turn the corner without actually having a kink in the fabric. And that's the whole point of that cut. So now it's just basically sewing all the way up to the top. And that would give you a sort of perfectly formed corner, inserted corner. I'm gonna go in slightly more. Get it right the first time and you're looking at a better result than doing it second time, because it can, once you've done it once, it can create problems going around second time. Now on the second corner, again we're going to start on where, you know, a little bit past where the break point was, and this time you're sewing on the opposite side, so you've got to be wary of where that corner, and you've got to make sure that there's no kink at the bottom of, you know, a gather at the bottom of your point of turn, because it's a little bit difficult and tricky in that turn. And then and you're seaming just inside the original seam line. Just a little bit of a messed up corner. Okay, so what I've realized is my fabric has just slightly pushed a little bit too much out. What I'm going to have to do is unpick this and take the whole of this point slightly more out, because there's no way, I've already created a cut there, so there's no way I can go back on that and fix that. There's only two ways of working around this. Either I move the whole of the lace, or I move the putty and leave the incision underneath showing a little bit, and I think I'm probably in favor of doing that.